Welcome back, everyone, to the Peruvian Pod. We are on episode 2. Today we have me, Harold, Carlos, and a new guest, Adrian. I will let him introduce himself before we continue things.
Hi guys.
Oh, that's Adrian. All right, so Carlos, go ahead and give us a short summary of last week's episode.
Oh yeah, if you guys are new to us, we did an episode last week, which was just a basic introduction to us, to our lives, and also we talked about what being poor means. It was a pretty cool conversation. If you guys want to check that out, if you enjoy this sort of content, but yeah, we're gonna be talking about what we mentioned last week, which was knowing how to take care of yourself while you continue on your eternal journey or whatever. So we're gonna talk about how to do that, and yeah, if Harold, if you want to get started and talk about the article that we found.
Yeah, so I found this article on Wired.com. They have a couple of things mentioned here just to how to relax during quarantine. We're gonna be talking about the article in our uh, points of perspective on this kind of type of a situation since we're all living in a quarantine life at the moment. The first thing they have is create a sanctuary. Basically, it's just saying create your own space in your either house or apartment, wherever you live, and making your own. Have little plants here nearby. So your gaming equipment, speakers, anything that makes it your space you. It's very important now since we don't get to work outside of home that you make your space just for you, and so you can get away or just make it about work and separate work from home life balances and everything like that. I don't know. I have one right now at the moment in my office for work, but I'll let Carlos and Adrian see or tell you about their sanctuaries if they have any, and if they don't, why.
Um,
You want to
yeah,
go
no, I
first?
yeah, I can go first. I also have the same thing as Harold. I do have an office, and at my house, I also have a place where I can do work. Um, it's nice to have multiple places, but I think it's just cool to have like somewhere where I can do so many things, like do work, but also like game, that sort of stuff. Sort of like a relaxing place to sit after like a day of just doing stuff. So I think that has been my like sanctuary. Uh, yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Adrian, your turn.
you know, Bringing up the sanctuary, it's a great
Hmm.
point. But are we just gonna are we just gonna go on this one, or are we gonna continue the article? Like, I'm
No,
gonna finish.
we'll go more in depth. It's
Okay,
just,
sure.
do you have one, your own sanctuary, your own your own pad that you go to, separate from your family or your friends, somewhere you just go to work or to game or just to relax. I guess your own man cave, to put another perspective.
Like a safe place.
Yeah.
I've been in the process of it. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
created it yet, but I wouldn't say I have one exactly now.
Gotcha, gotcha.
You know,
Since you're in the process of making your own sanctuary, what's one thing that you would like to include in it? Whether it's a plant or it's a new speaker that you've been wanting just to have in your own for your own or TV or whatever.
it's more of a no, it's not even that. It's a full room makeover. You know what I mean?
Okay, cool.
I want to create a space completely from scratch.
Gotcha.
Uh, and that's what we're doing
Sure.
here in the basement.
Elbows greased.
Oh my God, that's okay. No worries. And then they have the article also mentions some having plants in your sanctuary because it helps with your emotional needs and your apparently some plants provide more oxygen in your own space, which is really important as well. I personally don't have any plants at the moment, but I've been thinking of getting some in for my office, but I just haven't looked for it. I don't know, Carlos, do you have a plant in your office space?
Oh man, I have many plants in my apartment. I mean they're definitely nice to like have because like various times during the day you kind of just look at it and just wonder like, oh look, this plant is growing. So it's just sort of like a nice little thing you can look at and just get be distracted for a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. Um, but no, I definitely think it's nice to have because it's just something to do for like a quick minute or two. Because I think those sort of like breaks are also important.
Right.
Where after you're sitting for like a couple hours, just walking for a minute or two can really go a long way. But yeah, no, I would definitely recommend people to get some sort of plan or even like a fake plan, just something you can look at.
Gotcha,
That's a
gotcha.
good. That's a
Do
good
you
point.
think you have a green thumb, as they say, for plants, or do they die off pretty fast?
It's not me. I mean, it's mostly my girlfriend who takes care of them. I kind of just look at
I
them.
gotcha.
Yeah,
I
I'm
gotcha.
not crazy into that.
Yeah, I gotcha. Adrian, do you have any plans in your office, or are you planning to get any for your office?
I am planning on it, yes,
Yeah, nice.
but I don't at the moment.
It's all good, man. Another thing they mentioned here is finding a relaxing hobby. I think this one's one of the most important ones in this article. It is important to find your own thing, something that you do with other people, but that you thoroughly enjoy. For me, it's always about just reading about anything financial, looking at the stock market or learning more how to save money or build up my credit score. Anything in that sense is my hobby that I like to do. Reading goes along with that as well. I love to read. I used to hate it back in middle school when they made you forced you to read for points. At least in my district, they did. I think they were called 8R points. I could be wrong, but it was the worst thing. But now since I'm older, I like learning on my own. Reading was very beneficial, and to me, that's my own personal hobby. Carlos, if you want to go ahead and tell them yours, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, no, I also enjoy learning about new stuff, but not necessarily like books and stuff. There are times where I just go into very deep YouTube video dives, um, or on Reddit as well. Like I'll spend a couple hours just looking up different like subreddits. I definitely think that it's like cool that like there's so much information out there, pretty much about anything. Which is like pretty cool because I mean, there's only so much time that you have, so just if you want to like learn about new stuff, just go out and do it. And it's pretty fun because you can do it every once in a while and just keep learning about whatever you want. Adrian, what about you, man? What do you what is one of your hobbies?
Definitely sports.
What
Yeah.
sports?
Well, currently I play goalkeeper, so for soccer.
Nice, nice. Do you it's that like is that Sportsplex you play at, or I forget in Fairfax which one it's it
No,
is.
no. I am part of a couple leagues,
Oh, nice. I didn't know
so
that.
I'm part of one uh, who we have a whole Vietnamese group, and we're doing a full team now. Full teams against full teams, just to, like in the community, because
Nice. I didn't know that.
there's like a bunch of other Vietnamese football teams. It's like a whole it's a whole seed. I swear,
Yeah, that's
The
cool, man.
whole
I didn't
league.
know that.
you guys are gonna have to start betting on the champion.
That's what's up. That also follows up with the next topic they have here, which is taking care of your body and your soul. And one of the things they have here is working out. Personally, this year I started back in like late January, early February to go to the gym before the whole pandemic crashed. The whole exercise facilities here, we got into weightlifting and benching and everything like that, which is really fun, but very, very tedious at the same time. I'm not gonna lie, lost motivation at some points, but every day is a struggle. You have to go for it even if you're tired, and that's it's also taught me discipline at the same time. Continue working on things even if it does seem really inconvenient at the time, or you're just really, really tired of going. And your muscles, you're sore all over, and it's just it sucks
The
sometimes, but
feels.
yeah, exactly. I got to build those muscles and get in shape for it and everything like that. And I'm personally just doing it just to feel better. Ever since I started working out, I've been feeling a lot better. I've been feeling stronger. My bench has been going up consistently since I started in February. And then I'm just trying to get back into the game. I'm also very careful when I go to the gym. Stay my distance from everyone, sanitize my equipment, sanitize my hands every time after every equipment I use, and etc. But I stay very careful because I do have parents here that I don't want to get sick with this whole pandemic that's going on. Carlos, do you work out near your office? Go for a run or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, whenever I go home, I have a well, my parents' house, I have a punching bag. So anytime I get like free time, I just go down there. Or if not, like I'll go, uh, kick the ball around as well.
Mm.
And I've been going on more walks around here because I realize that I should, because it's pretty nice to look at buildings and stuff. Um,
Yeah, yeah, Carlos lives near more the in the city, so his
in the
views are
city
is pretty
area,
nice.
yeah, it's definitely a change from where I was before. So it's nice, dude. But no, I definitely need to become better at that. I get lazy, which
It's hard.
I shouldn't. Yeah. But see, no, the at least with me, like if I'm working out, I wish I wanted to have a purpose because I'm not
Mhm.
I don't I mean when I do like when I work out, I want it to be like fun. So that's why whenever I work out, like I do soccer because it's competitive.
Yeah.
You get to like work with others, that sort of stuff. So it's you kind of get a lot of benefits out of it
Hmm.
because sometimes when I go to the gym, it is kind of weird, just like being with around like people, just seeing them like work out and then having them see you work out. It's I find it a weird concept sometimes. Um,
I get jealous
and yeah,
sometimes.
I feel
I
like
see people benching like 300 pounds. I'm like, damn, bro, that's you're jacked. I'm so jealous.
yeah, because I feel like I get bored at the gym and I don't get bored
Hmm.
playing soccer. So
Oh yeah, for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I think that's why I also went with a workout plan, just to make it less boring and not just go there randomly
Oh yeah.
doing random exercises. I have a plan for it, and if I see improvement, then it's like that. You keep going, motivation. It's like you're actually
Hmm.
changing your body and everything like that, and that's the fun part for me. Changing the way you look and everything like that. For just going to exercise at the gym. It's crazy. I know, Adrian, you say you play soccer. Do you do anything else other than that just to stay physically active?
I mean, you took it out of my you took it out of my took the words out of me, Harold. Uh, Seeing the improvement in what you're doing is what keeps me going. At least that's the kind of motivation that I guess you're talking about has worked for me really well.
Right.
Um, when you start from point A, and yes, it's hard in the beginning because anything hard is anything to begin is hard. Uh, but
Yeah.
as you progress, you start to realize that there's meaningful change going on, and
Yeah.
that's the
And it
that's the adrenaline rush right there that wants you to
yeah,
like
and it
come
and
home
if
and go on that run,
exactly,
do
yeah.
that
And it's
exercise.
not a change that happens immediately either. It takes time. It definitely takes time. If you're first starting, it's gonna hurt whether you start walking every day or running or weightlifting. Getting your muscles used to it. It's definitely a unique experience that I hope everyone gets to experience at one point in their life. But it's definitely incredible seeing how much your body can change and how much your body can withstand under stress. And it's just incredible. I've been seeing like weightlifting videos of people. I was like deadlifting 1,000 pounds or something like that, and it's freaking crazy, man. Like it's a full time job that you go just to be a bodybuilder or a weightlifter or professional athlete, and it's incredible. I know personally for me, I see sometimes when I wasn't being so physically active, I used to see people on there be like, oh, I can do that too. That shouldn't be too hard. But then once I started doing it, I was like, oh damn, this is this is quite difficult. I mad respects to them for uh, you know, doing what they love and getting paid for it either by sponsorship or by being a professional athlete.
No, yeah, I definitely yeah. They have to really train their bodies, which does take a lot of time, and with
It does.
everything, dude, everything takes time.
Exactly, yeah, and it's a lot of mental fortitude that you need. It's easy to give up, but it's really hard to continue going, even if it seems impossible to reach an end goal. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but next on the article is drinks, which is really interesting. They have tea, which for me, I love tea. I love green tea specifically, or matcha tea. One of
Mm-hmm.
my favorites from Japan. And personally, I drink it. I try to drink it every night if I can, just to help my body relax before bedtime. I think lavender is a good one to drink before bed. Um,
Hmm.
but that's for me. I don't know. Would you guys have like I guess a nightly drink that you, I guess, go to bed with, or water, or is it just drink tea or whatever?
I'll go for this one
Yeah, go ahead.
first. Wegmans has $5 2 liter um, unsweetened green tea, Japanese green tea.
Oh, really?
I buy maybe 5 of them,
Yeah,
up to 10, up to 5, and just stock them and take one for work each time and rotate each week. I
that's
also
pretty
just drink,
dope.
yeah, I drink it throughout the day and on water, and that's it. So
Yeah. You know, I also enjoy tea. I love drinking black tea. Whether it's cold or hot, dude, it tastes so good. But actually, I mean, also coffee, but coffee's more for like during the day because at nighttime it does make me like run to the bathroom. So
Dude, coffee doesn't do it for me anymore. I don't know why. Uh, I think it's the upbringing of
it
drinking
depends
coffee.
on
It's
what, dude. So like I've been getting like the stronger like stuff that's like sort of like espresso
yeah,
strong. Because dude, no, all I drink is cold brew. So I went from like not drinking coffee to drinking like cold brew like that, and I didn't know cold brew was like super like
it's
not
concentrated.
concentrated, yeah, like it's concentrated.
Yeah, it's
And
really
yeah,
highly concentrated.
it was like from 0 to 100 like pretty quick.
Does your body get hyper with coffee? Because mine doesn't. I don't know why.
uh I don't get hyper, but I just get like I get like really my body just feels like kind of jittery. So
Hmm.
I guess I just feel like I need to be doing like something. So
Right.
yeah, I mean it works for like a bit. Like I get really productive for like 30 to 45 minutes, and then I just start drinking a little more, and it's like smaller amounts of like productivity. It's weird.
it's when
Yeah.
you stop drinking coffee for a time period and then try it again is when you realize the true effect or the strong effects of coffee. That
Oh
jitteriness,
yeah.
Yeah.
all
Maybe I
that.
just got way too used to it because I even remember being like 8 or 9 and my
Drinking
parents
coffee.
having, yeah, and because my parents made it so so standard in the house. They'd be drinking coffee at 10 o'clock at night for no reason.
Wow.
And it's like, what the heck, what's going on? But I think that's the only reason why I kind of got used to the coffee jitters. But now when I drink it, I think I'm going to sleep. It's so weird. I have no idea why though. But whatever. At this point, I just drink Bang Energy, and it's pretty. It wakes me up pretty bad.
Does
Um,
it make you does it make you
Mm.
feel better to know that I know someone else who who's the same way? They drink coffee to go to sleep.
what was the question again? Sorry, I got a little distracted.
It wasn't it wasn't a question.
Oh, what'd you say? I'm sorry.
I know someone who is the same way as you.
Oh, really?
They drink coffee to go to sleep, yeah.
Yeah,
So you're not alone is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, dude, I do that
yeah,
sometimes. I
yeah.
do that
It's
sometimes.
so weird because
Dude, if it's weak
yeah,
coffee, I'll do it. You know, if it's like very weak, or if it's just like if it's like Starbucks coffee, dude, yeah,
dude,
I can knock
Starbucks
out right
coffee
away.
just sucks anyways. I don't know why people love it, but
No.
it's basically 90% sugar anyways. That's
Do
probably
you,
the only reason why.
do you guys have do you
Mm.
guys have like full beans that you grind up? You guys
Yeah.
Oh,
I,
nice.
I
Yeah, dude,
don't, but
I use my
I
blender.
wish I did actually. Oh, actually, I have a question for you guys.
Okay. What's that?
Let's see.
Hmm.
It's kind of not a weird question, but it's like, uh, how do you continue learning in order to stay on top of things with your everyday life, whether it's financial, educational, your own business or your own work? What's something? how do you continue that process? Do you read? Do you use YouTube videos? Do you talk to your coworkers about it, or what do you guys do?
Well, I mean, I, like I said earlier, we I use a lot of like Reddit um to yeah, I feel like Reddit is like a very it's like a very not social media sort of social media because it definitely is like like a social
Mm-hmm.
network because a lot of people you can make an account, post all that sort of stuff, but it's also it seems a little more like discreet, I guess. Like it's very easy to find what you're looking for.
Right. I love Reddit for that actually.
Uh, So yeah, and a combination of that and like YouTube is cool. Um, but I also like I've been seeing a lot of this. It's not like for like professional reasons, but like I've been seeing a lot of like uh, I guess like cooking videos on TikTok as well.
Oh, that's right. You've been into
So,
cooking for this month, right?
dude, yeah, I mean, I have to learn it, dude. So I've been going ham.
How's that going, by the way?
It's fun, dude. It's like definitely something relaxing to do. Like I anyone who's like looking for something relaxing to do, like pick up cooking because you just put on music and you cut vegetables and shit. It's very like mind numbing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then yeah, and it's kind of very like there's a process to it, so you don't have to really think much.
Right.
You're kind of just making sure that you don't fuck up on the measurements. But I mean, yeah, it's fun.
So do you just use TikTok, or have you tried those like services like Blue Apron or HelloFresh, I believe? No.
Oh no, nah, I don't think I would ever. I feel like I don't trust them.
You don't?
No, I feel like I don't know. I feel like they're very processed.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, from what I heard, it's pretty okay. Just I prefer cooking.
Yeah, like getting fresh vegetables, I think is key.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not that hard to go to the grocery store. I mean, now I guess you could have the saying of you don't want to go to the grocery store because you don't want to get uh COVID. But I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
I
but
don't know.
you can do a pickup option and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Most stores do that. Walmart does that too. Forgot.
Carlos, what did you mention before you were talking about the cooking? Was it what was the
he asked like, what do we use to like learn
Oh,
new
that's right.
information?
So you
Kind of
like
like,
your response to it. You said
dude, I was
Reddit,
talking about that's like I
Reddit
was
and
like
YouTube.
Reddit,
Yeah, I know.
YouTube, and then like,
For the most part, I'll get back to Reddit and YouTube as sources, but uh, I think I'm lucky to be in a type of job where each day there's something new that I can learn within the IT field, but at a very user-friendly level. You know what I mean? So basic to advanced computer troubleshooting methods and just help desk admin work. So
Do you ever attend webinars um, from like competitive IT? Because I
I
know
do
for at
not.
least from my companies, we send out webinar events just to see if they're interested in like a new technology for their company, whether or not it'll help them in the long run. But I don't know if you do that sort of things.
So where I'm working right now, everything's a little bamboozled.
Right.
The parent company is it's behind, and we just don't have time for for these types of things. You know what I mean?
Right.
We got hit with two viruses, so it's been a struggle for everybody.
Yeah. Okay, I feel that. Yeah, I think we talked about that before. I think that's why we were using that the VPN from work. I forgot
Global
what it was called.
Global Protect, yes.
Yeah, Global Protect. Yeah.
See, the
That's
nice
the
thing,
latest one you got your company got too, right? The Global Protect one.
right after they've been enforcing that for everybody. So and you need to do it for everybody, um, because let's say you have a computer that has an antivirus software on it, right?
Mhm.
But then that computer leaves um, the office building where you had the internal connection, right?
Mhm.
If you then connect to a different type of Wi-Fi source, it's just a higher chance of you getting a virus because yes, maybe the antivirus software will detect it,
Right.
but um, other times it's very hard to. And then there's new types of viruses that are going on, and we've been having calls of this team that specifically just looks into these virus alerts that the antivirus software sends to us. So it's constantly
Hmm.
running, and we constantly get emails if it detects stuff. Um, most
Okay.
of the time, most of the time for us, it's like spam, um,
Right.
because we're just fixing some, minor, minor stuff, like getting this one particular email about this remote software that we use, but it's it's just something the software developers need to fix on their end. But
Right. Yeah.
so
That.
back to my point, when you have Global Protect VPN and the antivirus software installed on the computer, and it leaves the office building and joins another, or it joins the VPN rather than any other internet source. So your connection is
Right.
encrypted regardless of where you are, because you have to join the VPN to get internet access to begin with.
Right. Exactly. That's the main reason my company uses it as well. Because while being in this new role, we've learned that most of the hacking and viruses come from the end user side. Just because they're not protected as much as they could possibly be with the VPN and and the antivirus thing as well. And it's crazy. There's like some
Sketchy
yes, those
websites.
sketchy websites, and it's crazy how much money companies lose just for those spam calls or spam emails, and people accidentally click on them and leak out information, vital information, and it's crazy. Uh, Companies can lose billions, especially now since everything is pretty much remote, working from home, and it's security right now. It's the biggest thing, and that companies are trying to reinforce and get better at as well. It's crazy.
What antivirus do you guys have in your
Um,
company?
I I think we use it's the yellow one, Semantic.
Hmm.
I think it's called. Not
Okay.
sure what. Yeah, we use that and the Global Protect as well. And
Y-
then for
for the
like
most
spam
part,
emails. Yeah,
mhm,
what's up?
for the most part, the end user error is most of the time clicking on a phishing email, and then they click
Right,
on a link, they click on a file, they download that accidentally, not knowing, not seeing the signs of it being a phishing email,
right,
um, is the most threatening thing to a company. And so
right.
that's why these two things that we're talking about are so impactful, because our company lost a shit ton of money. Or actually, I'm sorry, we actually didn't, but we did spend money on adapting. So
Yeah,
the company, is spending money regardless.
right. And then like that, all that private information from the end users is valuable, just as valuable as money to the company itself. And I totally agree, man. It's crazy, man. Those, but sometimes those spam emails seem so legit. It's it sometimes it baffles you because we have like this system in our company that if we see a phishing email or spam email, we just press this little button and send it to our IT department, and then they check over it and then make sure it's all clean and everything, and they report back to us within the hour if it's okay or not, or delete it or just or tell everyone else about it. It's crazy, but sometimes they seem so legit. It's
Hmm.
only like one word off or like one letter or one word off from the actual email addresses. Like legit
Mm.
companies use like
Oh,
Booz Allen or anything like that or
yeah.
Dell, and it's crazy how good they're getting it. And I have no idea how we're gonna protect ourselves in the future without more training on security itself. I don't know.
Well, see, it's not about securing yourself in the future. It's about learning and doing it now, because there's no privacy, but at least you can start to create an environment on the internet that is safe and uh, is not something that can get into your network.
Especially with all these schools and online education. I've seen people getting hacked into their Zoom calls and Zoom meetings and creating havoc in the online education world, and they're paying thousands of dollars but sometimes their server crashes or whatever gets banned by some guy in India or uh, somewhere else, and it's crazy, man.
The Zoom
Um,
issue, the Zoom issue was an exploit in Zoom, the Zoom application itself, and like you said, a ton of people were hacked.
Yeah.
it's funny.
You know, and honestly, man, if anything, like during this whole like COVID time, one thing that I have definitely learned, dude, is get fucking good internet, man.
Oh yeah.
Like yeah, get good internet, cause dude, like we have to get used to this like online world, dude. One, because it's pretty convenient, honestly. Like I think companies will save a lot of money. And honestly, like everything is becoming very like connected, so we're kind of forced to learn how to use a computer like very well. Like knowing how to do multiple things on it is definitely a must now. So I don't know, dude. I think yeah, we definitely need to be aware of what we put out there. Sort of like, you know, kind of see, because I also almost suffered from a phishing email from PayPal. Like it sounded exactly the same. Like it had all my
Right.
information
It's so
somehow.
legit sometimes.
Yeah. And then luckily I like saw that it was like paypal.com at something.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, this is very sus. No, but yeah, I think uh, yeah, I think COVID has definitely like made us become a lot more, I guess, protective of our stuff online,
It's
which is
literally,
not
yeah.
bad. Yeah, I mean it's not bad because we should. I don't want to put like everything that I do online. You know, like it's. I feel like there are boundaries for some things. Like, have you guys seen all these like people on Zoom like getting exposed? They forget to like turn off their camera or whatever.
Yeah. It.
Like I don't know how people are so careless, man. Like I don't get that. I would never do that, dude.
It.
I imagine we'll continue into a society where we have less and less interaction. Well,
Social interaction, yeah.
social
I think
interaction.
so.
Yeah. I mean, just like we see in Japan, it's already happening. But
Yeah.
I
Right.
think people are gonna realize the amount of money that they can start saving if they haven't already.
Right, dude. Imagine all the money that businesses are saving by not paying the rent or electricity bill or whatever they need to for their company building. It's crazy how much money you can save just by having everyone work from home, and pretty much productivity is still relatively high. You know, it just proves that people can work from home and work efficiently rather than back in the old days thinking, oh no, you can't work from home. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Which
But
I
see,
do kind of
that's
agree. It's not the same, but I think it's better in my opinion. But you know,
what you're saying is the problem. What you just said, it's the
hmm,
culture that we have built here is so traditional and old
right.
that we're just so deep into our own goddamn asses. And I feel like at some point we just need to wipe it and forget it happened and start over.
I think it's gonna happen really shortly, man. The new wave of generation is gonna be the ones in power, and I see it, man. At least for
Well,
me.
we'll see here for work.
Hmm.
Um, I think there's I think there's different approaches you can take to how you can employ someone. You know what I mean? Um, we don't necessarily need to keep people in an office building for specific jobs.
Right.
That's something that, like, you can provide with. But then again, we're also going to need to fix the economy and boost up pay, wage, especially like minimum wage. I mean, come on, $78 in places.
But all right, but see, man, my one argument with minimum wage is that I do think it should be a state thing, man. Because yo, like
Isn't
the
it
amount
not
of
a
money
state
that
thing?
It's a federal.
no, but see, people are trying to make it like a federal thing where every state has the same rate.
Yeah, it
If you
should be
if you think
different.
about it, man, $15 here in Northern Virginia, yeah, dude, that's definitely necessary. dude. But there are other places, like at least in like Southern Virginia, dude, where uh you can get by with like that amount of money. Um,
But that shouldn't be
which
that shouldn't be
I feel like
normal though.
is what deters some people, dude.
See,
Dude,
the
yeah, you can
system
buy
is
a house
creating
like
these
a
people.
mansion. Which one?
Look, these people. There's so many patterns here. These people keep getting. These people are, you know, growing up in these environments, and it happens. So some of them just don't know, any other direction, and so they just keep growing and growing in this one location. But what if we introduced other
Oh yeah.
factors like more money? Wouldn't they want to be something more, be something somewhere else? You know what I mean? So like,
Mhm.
Oh yeah, but then goes inflation, dude.
yeah, but we also got
And also like small business. No, but see, small businesses can't pay $15 per hour,
mm,
right?
Right. Yeah.
or rather, right?
It's. I definitely think there's no
That's
right
the
answer
thing.
though. Uh, I, I
Yeah, no, I mean there definitely isn't.
yeah. Either way you pick, one
But see,
side
dude, like
loses.
like, dude, if you like, there are some jobs that are very like easy. So I don't think that they would be should get like $15.
Right.
Because all right, $15 is a lot is a lot, but it's not that much depending on how much you work, right?
Right.
Say you work for like 3 hours, like $15 is not a lot. But say you're working for like 9 hours, $15 can add up. And depending where you live, dude, like that's like if you can get by with 900, because that's how much like rent costs for like a 2 bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy. But over here, dude, like for 2,000, you can be in the city, which is a lot of money though.
Right. So that also brings another question that I've been reading and researching. Do you think do you think the people who make minimum wage are asking for a higher wage because they just really can't get by, or is it more of an issue of their spending habits? Not knowing how to budget, not knowing how know the difference between a need and a want, or trying to live a lavish lifestyle when they know they can't. I'm really curious on your opinion because I have my own, and I'm just kind of curious
Dude,
before I say it.
see, see, man, I think that think about like some places like in New York, right? Like even $15 is like way too little just because of how
Right.
expensive some things are. So in a place like that, maybe like $20 would make sense. But there are other places, dude, where like $10 makes sense, right? And dude, like the thing is, like a lot of the economy deals with like small businesses, right? So, um, like some small business owners, they're not even making a profit, so they can't really pay, and they're not going to be able to ever get over that hump unless they get a few years of operating a business, and imposing like a $15 or something like that would definitely like stop the growth of a few small businesses.
Mhm.
So that's one reason why I think it should be like state. Um, it would be state controlled, which I think it's what it is now. So I think they should keep it like that because dude, like I said, man, some states you can get by with nothing, right? And in some states, even with a lot of money, you're still like struggling. So
True.
yeah, I feel like it's not the people's fault, right? The people who are working. It's just kind of like the environment that they're in, and a lot of the time, dude, like it would be very hard to get out of the environment just because like their kids have assimilated to it, that sort of thing. So I feel like sometimes it's not like the people's fault, because many of them don't even have like an option to really have a lifestyle. They kind of just have to survive.
Right. Yeah. And I think we touched on that last week on last week's episode of education, educating yourself about finances
Yeah.
and seeing how you can save here and there by switching to off name brands rather than name brands for food or clothing or whatever you want to do. It definitely saves money, but I definitely agree with you that it should be statewide rather than just a federal what's it called minimum for minimum wage at least because $15 in what like Tennessee, in the middle of Tennessee, can get you a decent way there, but $15 in New York can barely get you like I get I don't know, a food like a drink and a
A meal.
pizza or something. It's crazy, man. The New York prices are crazy, and California's even worse. We're pretty much close.
Yeah, taxes and stuff, dude.
Yeah,
So,
the mass exodus in California that's going on right now. It's everyone's leaving.
dude, no, and honestly, like, see, a lot of this is also just like, I think we mentioned that earlier, just like knowing how to find like an environment. Because if you live in these sort of like situations, man, like it's definitely hard. Like, you know, like it might sound like we're trying to shit on like, oh, you're getting a raise, but like, you know, I think there are different ways that that could work. Um, so you just kind of got to think of from like different perspectives, which is why you also just have to like, you know, start getting more educated on how whatever money you have, you can turn it into more.
Hmm.
Because if it's just sitting in your account and it's not increasing at all, um, or you know, just whenever you have free time, like come up with like some goals or some plans that you have. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just sit down and think about what you want your life to be, I guess.
Yeah,
That doesn't mean you have to go after it right away, but it's good to have options and it's good to at least have a pathway to something that you want to do.
right. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Another question though, come basing off that. What's your guys' opinion on universal income then? I don't know if you guys heard of it. I'm pretty sure you have, but
Oh, you mean the 1,000 per month thing, or
yeah, that was a Andrew Yang's
the Andrew Yang's
original
plan?
like proposal when he while he was running for presidential candidate. And I absolutely love this plan. I still do. There might be like a couple tweaks here and there that I don't completely agree with, but for the majority part, I completely agree with that. $1,000 per month. I think it was per family member above the age of 18. A working
Hmm.
class citizen. I can't remember the exact detail of the plan, but I thought it was genius. Especially now during pandemic, I think that would have been really helpful.
Dude, I think it definitely depends.
Okay.
Um, because I mean, I guess because at a point we kind of just be printing out money, right? Um, so then uh, I think like globally it would have like a weird impact. I do think that it should be easier for like certain groups of people to get access to, you know, like I guess a better lifestyle. And I think, you know, that could come from getting like, you know, like $1,000 a month, or maybe like a smaller amount, even just something that help help out. But one thing I do worry about is just, you know, the inflation, like how much it would deteriorate like the value of the dollar. Because I've been seeing that around like the world, it's really like evening out to what other currencies equal. But back in the day, dude, it was worth like a lot more. So
Right.
I feel like that's the
Imagine,
problem.
imagine if you're able to, imagine if you're able to reallocate the amount of money that we put into things such as the military
Yeah,
Right.
dude. I
and
think there's a better
other
option.
government, government agencies and whatnot.
Yeah,
So
that was
like,
part of his plan.
yeah, I mean, well, let's begin shifting more money into uh, things that really matter for development, and so that we can start to create more of a snowball effect with people, because that's where, I mean, the country's built on us. We If we become a better society, so will the country, and so will the planet. So like, I mean, that's what it's all about, right? I just see it as we're
Mhm.
we're all one. So
Right, and that's also why I really like Andrew's plan or Andrew Yang's plan. It wasn't like just printing out money for the fuck's sakes. It was reallocating money that's being lost in Social Security, being lost in the military, being lost in what's it called government programs or of any kind. It's, money disappears for some reason, and most of it's due to corruption in the government itself and people paying themselves first and before anything else. And his plan was to allocate or at least like rebudget everything to make it have a purpose, and then that extra money be going to Americans, helping them out with $1,000 a month. Like the whole idea was if everyone had to at least cover their rent, so they don't have to worry about losing their home, which is very very important, especially now. It would benefit them, so they could either go start other businesses without having to worry about their being evicted from their houses, or having enough food to buy for their kids. And I think it just opens up an idea, or like that freedom of choice that people can get, rather than focusing on just surviving. Rather than just focusing on surviving, they can start to thrive a little bit more than they would normally.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that part definitely makes sense. But I mean, I think once people start getting more money, right? I think the prices of things will also start increasing,
Hmm.
sort of thing, because there's more out there. I mean, I think it'll definitely have like a ripple effect. I do think that, dude, I think the whole government just needs a whole like reload, man. I think I definitely think that there's things that are very wrong with what's happening. Um, then I think like the military stuff, yeah, no, that needs to get cut down. But I don't know, man. I've been looking things, and I guess we like the U.S. kind of has a hand everywhere in the world,
It,
and that's not a cheap hand,
hmm.
to have. So they definitely like make payments to other places before they pay here.
Right.
But I don't know how quickly that could change because I think we've been trying to change that for a while now, and they keep resisting for some reason.
It's all about that money, man. It's all about that
Yeah,
greens, the Benjamins. It's crazy.
yeah, no, it's definitely weird.
Right. I mean, it'll change eventually. I think. I mean, at least I hope so. But maybe after our grandkids, they'll start seeing some change. But for now, I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna change. But we should still keep going if anything like that. Um, and then I think I have one last question before we sign off for the rest of the day. It's just a question of with everything that's going on, the pandemic, and family ties and friends and jobs. Where do you see yourself, and let's say in 5 years? Do you where do you see society? Do you see yourself still growing your business, Carlos? I know you have your own business, or do you see maybe starting something else on the side, or maybe I have no idea. Maybe being TikTok famous if that's still around in 5 years. But what's your opinion on that? What's your perspective?
Wait, yeah, you kind of cut off for the last choice. What was the last choice?
Where do you hope to be in 5 years from now?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Dude, no, I mean, honestly, I hopefully, further up the the chain, I guess. I no, I definitely want to own property, like hopefully a house, and have like maybe a couple more like side gigs or side businesses that just kind of generate income.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that's important. I think that that's something that everyone should try to just look at least. Because when you come to think about it, man, like a lot of things are not too hard to set up. You just gotta put in the time, and if you put in the time now, it can just run on itself. So
Right. Feel that.
yeah, I want to be traveling when I'm older.
I do too, man. I want to see the world.
In 5 years, I'm looking to have, I'm looking to see myself fully balanced. You know what I mean? Um,
Okay.
good health, good habits, um,
Hmm.
good ambition. You know what I mean? I
Right.
want to see that development. Um, you know, and I want to reflect. And that's what that's primarily the goal. The goal that has been, one of my major goals. I mean,
Gotcha.
Hmm.
I feel that, man. For me personally, in 5 years, I just want to be completely debt free. I want to own property, and I want to start my own, I guess, side hustle rather other than this podcast. Either do real estate or do more investing in the stock market, or my Roth IRA. Okay, it's something for my future. I don't want to be working forever. And I don't think anyone here does. Honestly, I want to retire as soon as I can, so I can just go out and enjoy the world, travel if everything's ever back to normal again after this pandemic. But for me, that's pretty much where I see myself in 5 years. Um, any closing statement you guys want to say before we head off for tonight?
No, I just saw a picture of a 500-year-old frozen body of an Incan girl. So maybe that's something we can talk about
Really?
next time.
Where? Where? And I'm guessing in Peru, but
Yeah, dude, I saw it on Reddit. I'll send you guys a
oh,
link.
that's gonna be really interesting.
But yeah,
Hmm. I'll, uh, I'll have to do that.
you know, I. But yeah, other than that, no, I think this was a pretty interesting conversation. I know we wanted to talk about like resting, but you know, I think we talked about like what we learned while we were resting our minds from work, while we were kind of just absorbing new information.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Like I
you know, I
mentioned
hope you guys
before, it's
enjoyed it.
this type of podcast, as much as we want to keep on topic, sometimes it's just uh, this is my way to relax, in my opinion. I like talking to you guys, and that's one. I guess it's also ties into this week's topics. Get friends and talk about anything you want. Honestly, it's probably one of the best things in the world. Just talking about your goals, your future goals, your current goals. What do you guys like to do music wise? And then hopefully this is what this podcast is going to be about. More friend interactions with Carlos and Adrian, and hopefully next week Mr. Abib joins. But who knows, man? That might be next year. I just I don't know with him, but hopefully he joins. He's a really cool dude, man, and I would love to get him on the podcast as well. Adrian, do you have any final words before we sign off?
I'm glad to be a part of this. I no, I think it's important to have conversations like this. I mean, they kind of just like help you to like vocalize things, and that is what helps you think more deeply about it as well. You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
All good. But well, thank you everyone for listening to us today. Please remember to like and share with your friends. If you please do so, we're trying to get to 1 million subscribers as soon as possible. And it's gonna be possible one day, but you got to start somewhere. But it's okay. We'll be back next week with a whole new episode. We definitely talk about that Frozen Incan. Or I don't know. Honestly, next week might be random. Who knows? Honestly, I thought this podcast would just be more focused on certain topics, but I really enjoy the random style of it. I think it just works better for us. Just this is the type of group we don't stick to a certain topic for too long because there's always something more interesting popping up on Reddit or Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. But yet again, thank you for everyone for listening to episode 2, and take care out there, please. See ya.
Bye.
Peace.